The McKoy Brothers and the Halloween Haunt. A McKoy Vision production. It was a crisp, clear Halloween night, and the McKoy brothers, Robert, Michael Jr., Jackson, and Jacob, were gearing up for the annual karate obstacle course at their dojo. This year's theme was Spooky Karate Legends, and the course was decorated with eerie props, including fake cobwebs, jack-o'-lanterns, and ghostly figures of famous karate masters from the past. As usual, the brothers were up to their mischievous ways. Jackson, the prankster, had brought along some enhancements for the spooky decorations. Robert, always the strategist but perpetually angry, had devised a plan to use Jackson's enhancements to make their run through the course unforgettable. Michael Jr., the voice of reason, reluctantly agreed to help, but only if they promised not to get into too much trouble. Jacob, the youngest and always annoyed, was just excited to be part of the plan but couldn't stop complaining about everything. The brothers sneaked into the dojo's storage room, where they found a dusty old book titled Legends of Karate Masters. Inside, they discovered strange incantations that supposedly could bring the spirits of old karate masters back to life. Laughing at the absurdity, Jackson suggested they chant one of the incantations as part of their spooky enhancements. "What's the worst that could happen?" Jackson asked with a confused grin, clearly not understanding the potential consequences. They gathered around a fake altar they'd set up in the middle of the dojo. Jackson, in his best spooky voice, read aloud from the book, "Spirits of the Masters, rise from your slumber and join us in this Halloween thunder." To their shock, the dojo began to shake and a swirling mist filled the room. Out of the mist emerged the ghostly forms of legendary karate masters. The brothers stared in disbelief as the karate legends looked around, seemingly confused by their surroundings. One of them spoke, his ghostly form glowing with an otherworldly light, pointed at the brothers and asked, "Why have you summoned us?" Thinking quickly, Robert explained, his anger barely contained, that it was all a big misunderstanding and that they were just trying to have some Halloween fun. The masters, however, were not amused. "You must complete the obstacle course of death and prove your worth," the master declared. "Only then will we return to our eternal rest." The brothers gulped in unison. The obstacle course of death sounded far more ominous than the usual funhouse affair. They lined up at the starting point, determined to make it through the haunted obstacles. The course began with a series of hurdles. Jackson, leading the charge, tripped over the first hurdle and tumbled headfirst into a pile of fake skeletons, emerging covered in cobwebs and looking like a very confused mummy. Robert, fuming, vaulted the hurdles with sheer determination, only to land in a pit of foam gravestones that wobbled comically as he struggled to keep his balance. Next up was the Swamp of Doom. Michael Jr. accidentally activated a fog machine, causing the entire area to be blanketed in thick mist. He wandered around in circles, bumping into every obstacle and apologizing to the props as if they were real. Jacob, fed up and grumbling, tried to navigate the swamp but got stuck in a giant, inflatable spider web. He flailed about, shouting, "This is the worst Halloween ever." The brothers regrouped at the lava leap, where they had to jump across molten lava, bright red mats. Robert went first but slipped on a strategically placed banana peel, thanks to Jackson, and ended up performing an unintended somersault. Michael Jr., determined to stay focused, executed a perfect leap but landed in a pile of squeaky toys, causing a cacophony of embarrassing noises. Jackson, still confused, attempted a dramatic flying kick, only to miss the mat entirely and land in the lava, flopping around theatrically. Jacob, now thoroughly annoyed, tiptoed across, muttering about how none of this was in the brochure. Finally they reached the Wall of Woes, a towering barrier they had to climb. Robert, red-faced with anger, scaled the wall with surprising agility, though he grumbled all the way up. Michael Jr. followed, taking his time and offering helpful tips to his brothers. Jackson, trying to be flashy, got halfway up before realizing he was afraid of heights and clung to the wall like a cartoon character. Jacob, complaining every step of the way, managed to climb up, grumbling about the poor construction of the wall. At the top, they faced the final challenge, breaking a series of boards while blindfolded. Robert went first, his anger propelling him to smash his board in one strike. Michael Jr., with his usual precision, broke his on the first try. Jackson, always the wild card, accidentally kicked his board into the air, only for it to land perfectly split in two on the ground. Jacob, with a dramatic leap, broke his board in half with a flying kick, complaining about the mess he made. The ghostly karate masters nodded in approval. "You have shown courage, teamwork, and a sense of humor. You are worthy of our respect." With that, the mist swirled around the masters and they slowly faded away, leaving the dojo eerily quiet once more. The brothers looked at each other, relieved and exhilarated. They had survived the haunted obstacle course and even earned the respect of karate legends, though they weren't quite sure if it had all been real or just an elaborate Halloween prank. As they left the dojo, Jackson couldn't resist one last joke. "Next year, let's just stick to trick-or-treating." Robert rolled his eyes, still slightly angry. Jacob grumbled, "Yeah, anything's better than this mess." Michael Jr. just laughed, already planning their next adventure.